Alright guys, welcome to video number 3. This one's on Life-Ercise. So get up out of your chairs right now. Everybody up. I'm going to get up too. You can hear me. I'm taller now. So if you watch the posture video, I want you to get into your Messiah pose just for a little bit. Look at the screen. Make sure it's not too low. Hold that for a minute while I talk. So what is Life-Ercise? People think they need to go to the gym to work out. It's not true. You're working out right here, right now, watching this video, making it useful. So purposed movement. Everything we do throughout our daily life can be reworked into proper posture, proper exercise. So we're going to retrain your mind a little bit here. So it's about being more efficient. So we have this mindset that, it's harder to sit up straight, it's harder to lift properly, it takes more effort. But when you're core bracing and you're doing things more properly, not only are you giving yourself more spinal stability, but you're avoiding injury, which isn't efficient at all if you're injured. Alright? So muscle imbalance is about bringing balance to your body. So when we move or lift without spinal stability, the concentric muscles, which are the tight ones, the overused ones, are left to do all the work to bring stability to your spine. So not only does this create an imbalance, but it creates uneven stress on the joints and the ligaments, leading us down the path toward arthritis. Keep standing up straight. Hold that Messiah pose. Tighten the abs. Squeeze your shoulders. I'm watching you. I'm watching. So arthritis is named after Sir Arthur Hurt-a-Lot. There's lots of different types of arthritis. Yes, that was a joke. Sorry. So we got gouty arthritis, we got psoriatic arthritis, we got rheumatoid arthritis. Those are all autoimmune. So we're not even talking about those. We're talking about the wear and tear arthritis, which we call osteoarthritis. Osteo is bone. So it's not a natural progression. It's not genetic. Spinal degeneration is an AKA for arthritis. So osteoarthritis is known as degenerative arthritis. And it's not something that just happens to us. You're not supposed to get all arthritic. Yes, there's exceptions, but those are more the autoimmune, like your ankylosing spondylitis and all that. So, well, what is it? What is osteoarthritis? So when the muscles are imbalanced, they are unable to perform their job, which is to support the curves of the spine. The ligaments are left to do the work then. The ligaments have like no blood supply, very little. They take a long time to heal, and they cannot contract. So they're not like muscles. They're just kind of there holding everything together with the framework. They're designed to hold the spinal bones together, and the rest of your joints too, but we're mainly talking about the spine today, and makes it work as one unit. You know, if you just had the muscles, they would just tear the whole thing apart. The ligaments keep it all where it should be. So when the curvature of your spine begins to fail, we see that on the right there. See the cervical, and the thoracic, and the lumbar. All nice curves there. So when we get too much pull forward in the lumbar, too much pull in the thoracic, you got a reverse cervical curve, micro trauma begins to injure the ligaments because your muscles are trying to keep things in line. The ligaments are being pulled. They're constantly being stretched. They don't know how to help you regain your curves, so they harden. It's like when you break a bone, it's going to heal stronger. Ligaments do the same thing. When there's micro trauma over years and years, they become harder and more rigid, and that can lead to calcium buildup. This is like very simple. We're not getting deep into that, how that works, but that's the main idea. All right, so give up your pose there. Go down deep into a squat here. Let's see if I can do this without knocking my coffee over. Work into the squat, nice and light. Readjust your screen. Don't overdo it. Feel a good stretch. Hold it there. Keep the core muscles tight. So arthritis, the spurs are actually hardened ligaments. eventually all the ligaments surrounding the unstable segments will harden and the joints will become fused if A, the joint misalignment is not corrected. So that's us, that's chiropractic, that's what we do. And then B, muscle balance needs to be created after the adjustment, after we have realigned you. I'm going up and down here, you can probably tell by my voice. It's hard to find. It's hard to talk and hold the squat position. Fixing a joint that is misaligned without balancing the muscles is like throwing a ball into the air and just expecting it to stay there. You know, if you got muscles that are all imbalanced and you got tight muscles and weak muscles, what I've been preaching the last 2 videos, and I'm correcting the bone, and there's all that imbalance there, it's going to come right out. Could be as soon as you get off the table, as soon as you walk out the door, or in a week, depending on how imbalanced you are. So you can see on the x-ray here, this is the neck. See a little bony spur. So that's actually the ligament here that's supposed to connect these 2 bones, hold it together. This is your anterior longitudinal ligament. That goes right across the front. It's a big band. So a lot of times, this whole thing will fuse, fusing segments. And you lose disc space. Why do you lose disc space in the neck? It's because there's not as much movement there. And there was not enough movement. I'm actually getting tired doing this. The fluid that goes in and out of the discs isn't moving as well as it should be. You're supposed to regenerate a lot of fluid. It's called imbibition when you're sleeping. So you're actually a little bit taller in the morning than you are at night. But if there's swelling and the joint's locked up, there's irritation, there's muscle imbalance, it doesn't become nice and thick and happy like the discs above here. So this one's thinned out, and then you got your nerves coming out back here, these little holes. So when you lose the disc height, the hole where the nerve comes out gets a little compressed. So sometimes you get numbness or pain down the arm because of that. That's right in that region. That can do that to you. And not only do nerves there go to your arm, they go to your heart and your lungs and important stuff. Not that your arms aren't important, but you lose your heart, you're in trouble. All right, another x-ray. All right, you can give up the squat. Take a seat, but I want you to have good posture while you're doing this. You can do a Messiah pose in the chair. Flip your chair around if you can, if it doesn't have arms. And sit backwards with your legs wide, abs tight, feet flat on the floor. All right, so we got the normal curve of the neck here. And then we got a reverse curve. This is a whiplash curve, but this can happen without whiplash. This can just happen from, you know, a text neck or sitting improperly. So right now you need to sit good. Don't let your face get sucked into the screen. That's what I'm always telling the office staff. They get sucked into the screen. I gotta pull them out. It's like a black hole, like a rat. I'm like, no, don't go into the darkness. So what's going on here? This neck is like an S curve where it should be a C. And the discs are really hurt right around there. So the one way to fix this is chiropractic and then retraining your muscles. One way to avoid this is having good balance, like I've been talking about before. Got good balance, get injured, you'll be able to handle a lot better, you'll be able to recover a lot faster. Give yourself balance, you'll be able to take injuries better. Because there's injuries every day. Every time we move, there's little injuries, you know, but our bodies are, when they're balanced, we don't even notice them. So if you let this go, this is 15 years, you can already see some bony growth, stuff like that. You let this go, that segment's going to fuse right there. That's going to become one segment. The disc is going to be gone. You're going to lose probably the nerve function there. Surgery, all that fun stuff. That's actually an earring. These are earrings up here. There's no metal up there. Always take your earrings out when getting an x-ray done, because it confuses me sometimes. Whiplash. What we just talked about. It's macro trauma. Remember last time we had the picture of the kid, bad posture. What we just talked about, micro, macro. So it happens fast. Major injuries, our body, what I just said. We can handle it. Repeat, repeat, repeat. That's how you learn. Cheers. No, it's not whiskey. It's actually coffee. You don't need to go to the gym to balance your muscles. So that's what this video is all about. We're just using some scare tactics to make you realize why you have to do this stuff. I feel like that's what I can't convey well in the office. I got to do the boo, scary x-rays, scary arthritis. So you get it, why you need to do this stuff. Because you don't want to wait till it's too late. Now is the time. Now is the time to avoid this kind of stuff. All right, so let's go over some of the stuff that can help you. So what we talked about, posture video, is you can carry that through everything you do in your daily life. Sitting at the computer, core bracing, bring those shoulders back. It's the first step and key to any activity. So frag your life. What's frag stand for? Back flexors, rhomboids, abdominals, glutes. There's more muscles there, but if you remember those four, you know where they are, you know how to contract them, you're better than most of the people that come into the office. So sitting, what we're doing right now, adjust your screen, your eye level. I need to adjust my screen because I was moving all over the place. There we go. Eye level right at the top. Eyes should be almost equal at the top of your screen. You want your elbows 90 degrees there, and then you want to shoot for about 90 with the legs. Right now it's telling you to widen your stance, and I'll go over why that is later. I think very soon, actually. But that's what you're going for. Don't overdo it. I think people overdo it and they lean back. So just remember, think you're in the Army. That's what I tell people. Tuck your chin a little bit. Feel those neck flexors contract. It's not about leaning back. Because remember that one girl I showed you where she was leaning back, throwing out her back, giving more trouble. Leg crossing. If you keep switching it up, it's okay, but a lot of people have instability in the sacroiliac joints and the last lumbar joint here. So that's what we see on the right. You're looking at the back of the pelvis. So we got the sacrum in the middle. We got our ilium, or our pelvic bones on either side. And these are your hip joints, your femur. They come in. So you can see with the legs crossed how it kind of makes so if the right leg's crossed over like you're sitting like a man, not like these guys, but the sacrum's kind of tilted. It's lower on the one side. This is stretching that ligament in there, that joint in there, and if it can create an instability. So when you widen your legs, it actually helps lock down these joints here, kind of pushes them together. Sometimes I'll get people in who I know have sprained their sacroiliac joint, and I'll lightly press the pelvis together. That's what I'm checking for, and they're usually like, it feels good. Because it's taking the pressure off. It's because they get so widened because we bend over wrong, we pick up stuff, we don't widen our stance enough. So that leads to irritation, inflammation, and when the joint's inflamed, there's too much movement. It's a hypomobility. More coffee. Hypomobility. Sorry, hypermobility. Too much movement. Sorry, hypo means little. Definitely need more coffee. Let me say that again so everyone gets it. When the joints are inflamed and irritated, overstretched, it's a sprain strain injury. That's hypermobility, too much movement. Gotta stop doing these videos in the morning. So there we go. The wide-legged sitting that forces the SI joint to close down, lock down. And you want that, especially if you've injured your low back or if you've had a long day. That's the way to do it. Tighten those abs. That's exactly how I'm sitting right now. And you can sit up straight. Don't be like him. You can also do this on a yoga ball. Yoga balls are great. I prefer the girl on the left here. She's doing it a little bit better. Girl on the right, the laptop's way too low. I mean, her arms are at 90, but she's wearing high heels too. I mean, she's got the right idea, but girl on the left here, orange ball, that's what you want. She's got her book propped up. She's got the wide-legged stance. Her legs are too close together. Hers, she's locking down that SI joint better. Cars. Cars are hard. I've been thinking about cars a lot lately. You want to try to get your back and your head against the headrest there. everyone gets kind of sucked forward towards the steering wheel, like they're trying to take a bite out of it or something. I see people driving around. That's how you get all into the hunched up pose. 40 years later, you're pushing your grocery cart around and your head's below your shoulders. I don't even know how that happens. So there's a couple of different things. You can have a lumbar support here in the low back, which can help bring this up forward a little bit. You can take your wallet out too when you're in the car. Sometimes the wallet helps. I've been going over with some people about pelvic wedging, but that's a whole other video. That's a different thing. But that's finding out how your hips are and how you drive, and putting foam wedges underneath your pelvis to stabilize you, because roads are slanted, cars are not always even, we always got one foot on the pedal. It's tough. But if you bring your neck into flexion like this guy, you really can help yourself too, because he's just way too forward, too much forward head translation. Guy on the right, much better. Sometimes you can take your left foot if you don't have a standard, if you don't have to shift. You can put your left leg kind of close to the brake and push on the floor a little bit. That locks your pelvis down, instead of having it hanging off to the side like everyone does. Especially if you're going to turns or if you're pressing on the brake, that's what to do. Standing. Went over this last time, but just going over it again. You can do this anytime you're washing the dishes or anything like that, where you have to stand, work on your posture. You can stand up again if you want. Do your pose there. Get like the girl on the left here, where her hips are more forward. So we got the hip, shoulder, ear, all pretty well in a line. We look at this girl, we got the ear. It's too far forward from the shoulder. And the hips are back. So she's more in like a diagonal line. So we want a nice straight line. Hip, shoulder, ear. This guy's got it over here. Yeah, this guy's a little stick pushing that hip back. So you get too much hip flexion there. Why is that? We went over that in the first video. That's the hip flexor that's too tight, the iliopsoas. So yes, washing dishes, brushing your teeth, walking the dogs. Just think about it. Just think about it. Be like, frag, frag, frag. I want it in your mind all day. It's in my mind all day. I'm yelling at myself all the time. I want you to catch me and yell at me when I'm sitting over there working on your notes. Be like, hey, sit up straight. I'm yelling at everybody else. I want you to return the favor. Keep me honest. I need to practice what I preach. So use these mindless activities to work on core bracing. If you're doing something simple, you can focus on the core. Just let everything else go. Just all that stress, get it out of there. You don't need it in your life. Don't need it. Walking, core brace. Take a longer stride. Slow it down. You don't need to walk shuffle fast. I see all these people walking. It's like fast. I gotta walk fast. They're not just walking for pleasure. They're out through their daily lives not walking enough. So go through the full range of motion. So take a longer stride. Really focus on heel striking and then pushing off the toe. You see the back leg pushing off the toe. It's going through her whole motion. She's stretching hamstrings and calf, doing what we call the dorsiflexion. A lot of people are tight in the calves. We're already at a disadvantage because we have heels in our shoes, which lowers and limits the stretch when we stand and when we walk in that calf muscle. So that's good. She's pushing off well, working the toes, swing your arms, get your whole body into it. You can tell her core is braced, her neck's where it should be. Great picture. She's doing a good job. Just a few tips. So we know roads are usually slanted for rain runoff. So if you're walking on one side of the road, let's say you're over here and your left leg, you're walking here with your left leg lower on the hill. That's throwing off your leg length and your hips and the rest of your spine. And then what we do is we always got to walk on the one side, and then we go back on the other side, and what's happening again? Left leg is short again. So you pattern yourself improperly here. You're always walking with one left short leg, and I see this with a lot of people. So switch it up. I think I'm going to do a whole video on walking because walking is so important. But go on some trails, you know. There we go, trails. Something flat. Get in the middle of the road. You know, if I go to this road, it's pretty close to me, and there's a few cars, and I do like a zigzag. I go up hills. I take longer strides. I walk backwards. Whole video. I think a whole video for that. We'll take you out one day. Need a good camera. Same thing here with tracks. Well, not the same thing, but a lot of people walking counterclockwise. And then you're going around the curve. You always got the in leg taking a lot of the pressure. So you're technically going in a circle for part of the time, and that can wear on the knee a little bit. So switch it up. Do 5 laps one way, 5 laps the other. I'm not saying you can't go to the track. I'm not saying you can't walk on the road. Just things to think about. Now, if you're in pain, you're not doing something right. So just think about it. So get into nature. These are what I wear at work, the Vibrams, because there's no heel. It's less about bringing stability to your feet. Everyone preaches stability, but it's about strengthening your foot, making those 26, 27 bones in your foot work. Those joints in there don't get a lot of action when we wear shoes because the shoes act as a cast a lot of time. So it just offers a little protection. There's no heel. There's not a lot of support. So it makes your toes work, works your arches, and allows your calf to stretch properly. That's why I wear them. And dress shoes are horrible. Just because they get sweaty and they're leather. You know, nobody likes those. So still on Life-Ercising, lifting. Go ahead and try this. Get as low as you can. No object too small. You know, this kid's doing it right. He's got a pretty good stance. He's on his toes a little too much, and maybe it's best to face the object you're picking up, but it's better than bending over at the waist with straight legs. And I even suggest to people, like, even bending at the knees. If your knees are in front of you, you're still, like what we talked about before, opening up the sacroiliac joint too much. So widen that leg. Think sumo wrestler. Even if you have to bring one leg out, then the other, and then, you know, go down nice and slow, pick up that object, because then you're working out. You can skip the gym that day if you do that a bunch of times throughout the day, because it's great for you. You're going to feel better. When your muscles are balanced, you have better energy. We talked about that in the posture video, because when your muscles are tight, they're unevenly, you're using a ton of energy to support the spinal curves. There's a lot of energy going into that. That's why a lot of people are fatigued all day, because of the lack of balance. When you're balanced, they don't have to work half as much. Texting is bad. So it's a great time. You get that little, grab that phone, bring it up eye level, do your frag core bracing. Because when we're looking down, really tighten those levator scapulas and the upper traps, lean to that shoulder pain. Everyone's always tight in here, right at the base of the skull. They're always here. That's where your headaches come from, people. And people think it's in the front, so it's something, you know, brain related, but it's all the tension comes down. Half the people that say, "Oh, I got a migraine today," it's really a tension headache. So yeah, other things too. Really humps you up there. Gotta beat that hump. That's your lifeline there. Those are your nerves. Gotta protect it. It's not about looking sexy. It's about living your life free of pain. Better. Living. Not just living, but living. That's what we're trying to teach you here. How bad is it, Nate? How bad is it when my head is down there? So we teach every time you have a forward head translation. Some people just have it and they can't bring it back just because it gets stuck there. For every inch of forward head translation, that's another 10 pounds extra on your head. And when you're bending your head forward, look at that, 60 degrees, you got 60 pounds. Ouch. And then it leads to forward head translation. So when you go up, you get all stuck up here in the what we call the vertebral prominence area, right where your thoracic spine starts. So we get a lot of sloping or reverse curve in the neck, and then the thoracics become very kyphotic. Kyphotic means the thoracic curve increases. So that's your dorsal curve. It sticks out more. So yes, time adds on. You're doing things properly. It can really add up over time. It's our micro trauma we're talking about here. Don't let it get the best of you. Gotta fight. And I know it's coming. Today was really cold. I just went for a walk. My voice is kind of scratchy. And I know the snow, it's coming. It's coming. So, it's not just shoveling, but we'll go over it. This is how I feel. Why couldn't you have showed up before I started shoveling? So this guy, it's like the only picture I could find was, of course, of a chiropractor doing it right. So I inverted him here just to show you that he's got the deep squat, the wide-legged squat. That's great. You know, he's bending at the knees, bracing his core. He's moving the snow. You can push the snow too if you want, but if we're picking it up is the way. You know, less is more. Go through the motion with less weight, and then do like 5 left. Switch it up. Switch your hand placement. Do 5 right. You are working different muscles. You're throwing your obliques in there, your ab muscles, your pec muscles. You're working lots of different stuff. So you need to switch it up. Otherwise, you're going to pattern, twist your spine all up. And so that's why I get so many people in the winter. It's like, just shovel a lot again. Turn it into an exercise. Skip the gym. Go out and shovel. Just do it properly. The first rule of exercise is proper posture. That's why I'm doing this one before exercise. We'll get to exercise eventually. So many videos I want to do. Helps me get the stress out. This is what I want to say to you all day, but I don't have time. So reverse. That's it, guys. I went as fast as I could. I know these are long, but this is important stuff. And those are just a few topics just to give you some ideas on how to look at your life differently. To Life-Ercise. Use those core muscles. You know, just picking up light objects, washing dishes. You got it. So subscribe on YouTube or on Facebook, just so you can get updates on when I put these up here. I'll keep trying to post them to Facebook. And that's it. Next video is probably going to be on, I don't know. I'm winging it. Just winging it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope that wasn't too fast. Trying to keep it sensible. But if you watch these videos and work on your posture, I think you will save time. So maybe you can just turn these videos into your exercise time. Do some squats. Do some poses. I was thinking about that. I was feeling bad for you guys having to listen to me just sitting there like, shut up, Nate. Shut up. Yeah. So turn it into exercise time. Do your yoga poses. Do your warrior one, whatever you tree pose. Go back to the posture video, watch it again. Work on those. Do your tricep swings. There's so much you can do while you're watching these videos. Just don't sit there. You can sit there in good posture. That's fine. Whatever. Just do it. Think about it. Love you guys. Oh, and just a final note. I had a patient call in who watched some of the videos, and I was just so happy because he's been coming for like every week for a year, and he's an outdoor guy. He's active, and he's like, I watched the videos, I loved them, and I'm canceling my appointment. And I'm like, that's great. That's so great because he's getting it, and I understand that I'm taking this kind of personal because this isn't about business for me. This has nothing to do with business, because if this was about business, I'm the worst businessman ever, because I'm teaching you how to avoid seeing me. How to really limit your visits. Yeah, I'm sure I'll always be needed, but if there comes a day where I get everyone better and I'm out of business, that's fine. That's fine. I'll go work at Starbucks the rest of my life. Happy man, drinking my coffee, knowing I did good. I had another chiropractor, because I told him the story. I just texted him, and he's like, oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, that's what I want. That's what I want. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching these videos. It helps me. For a while, I was very depressed. That's why I'm doing these. It gets everything off my chest about what I really want to say. So it really is important that you watch these, so you can learn to avoid being in pain, because I don't like seeing you in pain every week. That's hard on me, and I know I shouldn't take it personal, but I do. And I think more chiropractors should take it personal. They've turned it into a business. That's what I do. I just fix backs, and I think we should take it more personal. You know, we have a saying in chiropractic that is, "You are the doctor. Your body is the doctor. Your body heals itself. We just need to get it into the right position." And half of that is knowledge. Most of it is not. 90% is right here, what I'm teaching you right now. That the adjusting is so little, so such a little part of it. This is the keys of the kingdom. This is the important stuff. This is my greatest gift I can give you. So take it and use it, and go out there and Life-Ercise. Thanks, guys. Off the soapbox. All done.